Do you feel a lot? Do you feel too much sometimes? This new essence is great for people like you. I'm Lily from Brown Bear Herbs, and I want to share with you about a gem and flower essence that's helpful for people who feel a lot and it can get to be too much. And so you need help like reclaiming your energetic space. I will talk about some of the components of this essence, which include a bunch of pink stuff: pink yarrow, pink hyacinth, kunzite, which is beautifully pink. But there's some other stuff too that's not pink. But I want to talk about those things. But I also just want to talk about like empathy and its connection to trauma, which could be either in this life or previous lives, and how that can create a situation where you put your energy out to understand the emotional landscape so that you can protect yourself and anticipate problems. Trauma can happen at home, at school, in the workplace, war zones. There are all sorts of ways that trauma can happen. For some people, trauma can result in them being, it's kind of like a form of hypervigilance to your environment because you want to know what's going to happen before it happens. And you might be somebody who is very intuitive or psychic, and that is like a skill, an adaptational skill that you've developed in order to deal with this trauma. And that's an asset in many ways, but it also like spreads out your energy. And this doesn't just happen, it's like two layers at least. It's trauma, like physical trauma, anything that impacts your actual body or high levels of stress can create damage to your energetic field. By doing that, other people's energies can come in more. But then if you also have the impulse to be like, I need to feel other people, then you can have one or both of those, and you can be like sending your energy out to be like, I kind of need to manage the room. I need to manage the whole space. If everybody's feeling okay, I'm okay. And that might not be something that you're terribly conscious of because you've been doing it for a long time, or you're just not thinking about it. If you're noticing you're very sensitive and overwhelmed by other people's energy, I recommend that you take some time to reflect. Like, do I feel like this is mostly other people's energies entering into me? Or am I also like spreading my energy out to try to deal with basically a perceived trauma situation? Because if the situation isn't still a trauma situation, you're acting like it is by feeling like you need to like monitor everything and be aware of everything, you're depleting yourself. You're kind of in a hyper arousal state. These gems and flowers can help energetically bring that back in, but I think it's also important to reflect upon your life and the experiences, if you're aware of them, that have led to this feeling, so that you can reflect on your current environments that you're in and notice whether some of them do have components that are dangerous and you need to be careful in those ways, and if others are safer and you do not need to do that. Often being empathic, we are like sweet and loving. It's a kind thing to help other people. You notice somebody's in distress, you're being kind. And some of this may have arisen because you were trying to support somebody who is being hurt, especially if you weren't the person being abused. Or you might have wanted to really console an abuser, this classic empath narcissist situation, because you don't want them to act out at you. So you definitely want to change that dynamic in yourself, because a narcissist will love that about you. They will just love it and eat it up. They will love to be involved with you because you have that capacity to give them endless emotional support, and they don't deserve it, and you need your energy for yourself, and you can get energy back in a relationship, not just give it out. One component of this essence that is not pink is agave flower. I brought this in because I was trying to create a feeling of being held, and this essence has a sense of letting go and trusting. So in a sense, we are ready to be held with this medicine. And it's also an essence related to maturity and like kind of a healthy, balanced sense of who we are. It's interesting because this is an essence associated with masculinity. It's definitely not for men or women. It's not a gendered formula. The reason why I think it's helpful for cis men is that it is saying it is okay to be who you are. If you're raised in a traumatic situation, you may feel like who you are is just never going to be enough, and you have to hyper perform or you have to be perfect. And then and only then can that person who's acting erratically and selfishly let you have a happy life or just leave you in peace, right? But that's not realistic. The person who's hurting you is really just a selfish person who is acting very immaturely and not thinking about your feelings, and they should have. The agave part of this essence helps you let go of those unreasonable expectations that can lead to acting in a similar way. You might find a person who could use agave might act kind of macho or like they're invincible in a way to kind of deal with feelings of not being good enough. And instead, this essence can say, hey, like, I know who I am. It's okay. I am Kenneth. And I'm strong in these areas, and in other areas I really could use nurturing and support, or just even tactical support, because I don't know how to do everything. I didn't come into life knowing how to use every tool. Or a woman might be like, I didn't come into life knowing how to manage every social situation. I didn't come here with a smile for everybody, and it's okay. This agave aspect includes a sense of maturity. Like, I'm okay with who I am, and I'm strong, and that inner strength gives me the power, you can look at it like that, of being able to receive and be in a place of trust in my environment. That's an interesting conundrum, to be raised or have experienced things where you were very unsafe, and to feel a sense of trust. I want to make the essence to make the world a safe place. Yeah, that would be great. This essence is more the essence for creating healthier relationships, so balance. And one thing this makes me think of is an energetic strategy for helping people feel comfortable opening up to you. I really don't remember how I learned this, or who I learned it from. I'm grateful to them. It is to gently release like white light. And sometimes if we really want somebody to feel okay, we might be like, oh, let me hug you, or what can I do to help? And in this way of thinking, just gently giving out some like high vibe energy is more effective than a heavy-handed, how can I help? I think that the people that are going to respond to that are going to be both people who are genuinely hurt and need to feel a sense of trust in the person that they're with, and people who are already more balanced in themselves. They are not expecting a huge wave of support. I think that the people who are expecting a huge wave of energetic support are more likely to be people that are takers. So that's not a hard and fast rule, but that is something to contemplate in yourself and maybe try. Just try as a strategy. If you're a giver, try just gently giving and seeing how the other person responds to you, seeing if it helps them feel more comfortable, and seeing if they also offer that back. Not maybe that moment, but at a time when you're in need. And then you can start to create a network of people who are your kinfolk, who are safe people. And not everybody is going to respond. That doesn't always mean that they're a narcissist or a person that's going to be harmful in your life. It could also be that they just have they need more time to open up. They're somebody who has a lot of walls and they need more time. Or maybe they have a lot of walls and they are not going to be opening up anytime soon. But there's also like, you need to understand like it is about a relationship, not about like you needing to fulfill both sides of the relationship. So part of the journey of the empath may be knowing when to let go a little bit. And pink yarrow is a good essence for that, for a containment of both our giving and receiving, a sense of within ourselves that is healing. Pink yarrow heals holes in the energetic field, as yarrow does in general, and then pink yarrow is known especially to be helpful for empaths and healers, and just like I feel pink is related to the heart chakra, so bringing that energy into your heart. And then pink hyacinth is another one that's really helpful. I'm just thinking of that plant now. I think that plant has one of my favorite smells. It grows around here sometimes, and when I catch a whiff of it, I'm always just like, whoa, I don't even know that was possible. It's so intense. It almost feels like something that is like condensed into a perfume already, but it's not. It's just how it is on its own in the flower. So yeah, in a way that pink hyacinth helps you like restore and rebuild your vitality, your energetic vitality, your essence. So it has that intense perfume that's so beautiful. It's not like a stink, it's a perfume. It's something the world wants, but it's very dense and powerful. And so think about that in yourself. Like if you, instead of spreading your energy out, you keep it in, you nurture it, and you use it in balance with your relationships, then does your sweetness become sweeter and more potent? This is a rebuilding, restorative essence. It's particularly helpful if you've had experiences that mean you need rebuilding. So like if a relationship has worn you down, you've had bad experiences, this can help you rebuild your self-worth, your integral self. It can also give you a greater sense of safety. I think of how the stalk is like within all those flowers, and that's an interesting thing to come to mind, because it's like I'm really important, this central core that's nourishing these flowers, that's bringing all the nourishment to the flowers, right? I'm pretty important, and I'm totally protected. There's just this sense of density and beauty in pink hyacinth. Like I said, I was thinking of gentle and protective, our herbal smoking blend, with this essence, and wanting to help people who wanted to smoke less. Let's say you quit tobacco using gentle and protective, which is a great strategy for empaths and schizophrenic people who really relied on tobacco for like field protection. Gentle and protective is herbs that can help you have that field protection in like a really soft, sweet way, but without the addictive properties. But sometimes, even if you make that transition out of addiction, you still don't want to be smoking a lot. So I wanted to create an essence that can help give you some of those same feelings without having to smoke. Interestingly, this did not give me the same feeling. I do feel like it's still a great complement or next step or alternative for gentle and protective. But instead what happened is my energy came into my heart and felt very nice there and self-contained. I just noticed that my energy wasn't like fraying and flaking out into the environment. It wasn't like coming off of me and being dispersed. It was in my heart. And that's where that like gentle white light can come in. The image of that like dispersing of energy and kind of anxiety reminds me a bit of lepidolite. The way that gem is formed is like very flaky and thin, and that gemstone is helpful for anxiety. It's wonderful. I love to put like a slab in my pocket. It's so supportive. In the essence, I believe it's helping to just be like, you're here. It's all good. And also suggesting that by being in your heart, you can bring a lot of peace to people who are sensitive to their environment too. So you might attract more empaths for community if you are just coming into peace. So similar to like practicing meditation, this essence can help bring you into a more peaceful place in your heart, which can resonate really well with other people who use that tactic to manage their emotions. So what does that mean? Often when I'm thinking about emotional health, I'm thinking, okay, and let's understand it. And when things get out of balance, are we managing our emotions, or are our emotions managing us? And switching to energetic management can be a helpful strategy for the whole situation, because sometimes it's hard to hack something on the same level. It's like, how do I think my way out of anxiety? Well, good luck with that. I also think this would be a great one for people who like clear mind. So for either clear mind or gentle and protective, this could be peaceful. Although I would say clear mind people, this would be more helpful for people with like ADHD, anxiety, less so for like the creative side of things. But you let me know. There are some other essences in this for helping you feel secure, stable, and like you have a friend to watch your back. So the general vibe is that you can feel safer now and to have trust in your environment. And by shifting your energy, you may be able to attract people who are more interested in mutual support and calmness than the people you were attracting before. I am not in any way saying that if there are negative, harmful people in your life, they are there because of you and what you have done. I am not saying that. Some people really like the energies that empaths give out. And when you start to use that more selectively, and avoid using it to manage your own anxiety or stress, then I think that you're going to attract more good people. There may still be people that want to be close to you who are not healthy, but you're going to attract more people who are on your frequency. I want to share with you my understanding of some wisdom that I got from my spiritual teacher, Sri Anandima. When you're using your intuition or your psychic energy, so those are coming from two different spots. So your intuition coming from third eye and your third chakra at your solar plexus is where psychic information comes from. Psychic information is not as clear. It's often more tainted by like personal will and desire and drives. And intuition is more clear, but there are a few of us who are 100% clear. The more personally invested we are in the outcome, the less clear our information is likely to be, because we might want something and like it gets tainted with like, I'm gonna get this, or it could get tainted with like, I'm never gonna get what I want, and that clouds it too. Or there's so many things, or you have anxiety and that just makes like all these fears come up. Well, that's not helpful. So the idea that she presented was to only use those gifts for others. And if you're an intuitive person or you're psychic, you know that you're going to get information. It's fine to receive information. That's great. That's helpful. But not to seek it for your own desires and needs. And that can be a real challenge if you get anxious about the future or whatever. What that does is allows you to develop your skills and your psychic or intuitive skills and ability without a heavy emotional investment to practice detachment in your own life and not get that like confusing information that comes from pursuit of information for yourself. Think about that if you're a sensitive person. Think about letting go and how it feels to be just like in the present moment and not knowing. And then try this essence to see if it helps you feel like I can just be and trust. You can't do a trust fall without a sense of trust. So hang out in your heart with the help of these flowers and gems. See what happens when you're in a place of trust. And it might not be for all the time, depending on what your life is, but I hope that it can help you find people and community and a sense of inner peace that will help you get your life in a place of greater comfort and ease and enjoyment so that you can do the things that you want to do because you're important. You can find my products at brownbearherbs.com. If you like this video, please like this post. And if you're on YouTube, please subscribe and hit the bell for notifications so that you can see our new products and videos come out. I hope you have a great day.